So today, let's continue this little devlog series where I tell you about my current game project, Matchem, an action chill puzzle game with shapes and colors that will release on Steam at the end of the year, in December 2024. Just before we dive in, don't forget that if you want to learn more about the project and support it, you can add it to your wishlist on Steam to help it stand out in the crowd. And if you want to go even further, you can participate in the free playtest and then give me your feedback with the online form. This will help me make the game so much better. So a big thanks to all of those among you that will help me by participating in the playtest. Okay, now so far I've showed you my first prototypes that were designed to test the very core game mechanics and check that all of this could actually work and be somewhat fun. At that point, I therefore had random gates and lane triggers that I could use to move through a procedural level. But of course, I knew from the very start that for my main mode, the runner mode, I wanted people to play in handcrafted levels, and more precisely, community-made levels, thanks to a built-in level editor. So I decided that this was enough of the random gate spawning, and that I should dive into the editor logic. As you can probably guess, creating the editor took me a while, although it was super interesting. I'd never really worked on a tool that advanced in Godot, and it was a real treat to think about all the little shortcuts and handy helpers that I could give the players to make it more fun to use. At that early stage, my editor only had some very basic features. I had these auto-instantiated start and end markers for my level, and I could move around the level grid by keeping the spacebar pressed and moving the mouse. Then I set up a mini library with one type of block, the wall, and so I could pick this block type at the bottom and click in my level to place it one or more times. I also quickly added a second mode, the edit mode, so that I could reselect the blocks I'd added in the level, either by clicking on them or by dragging a selection box around them, and then I could redrag them to some other position, and I even made it so that you can edit all of the selected blocks at the same time, so for example, you can move those blocks by the same offset at the same time, since they are both selected. The next step was to handle the rescaling of blocks, so that creators could turn those walls into horizontal or square obstacles, for example, and so I implemented little stretch handles that show up on the walls when you're in edit mode, and that let you resize the element in one or two directions. I also added some special rules so that some block types, like the start and end markers, are not rescalable, and so they don't show any stretch handles. So in the end, after a few pretty intense hours, I had this beginning of a level editor, and I could already place and resize some walls in between my start and end markers. But of course, this was far from finished. So in the next episode, we'll keep going on how I made the level editor, and I'll show you how I gradually added more features. But in the meantime, tell me, what do you think? Do you like this game concept? Do you have any suggestions for making Matchem even better? Feel free to share your ideas down below or in the feedback form. And of course, don't forget to wishlist the game on Steam if you want to support the project. Of course, as always, thanks a lot for watching, and take care.